Hey everybody, welcome to day 5 to module 5 of eSchool. As always, I'm just going to start us off with a quick video that just talks through some feedback from yesterday and some tips and tricks for having a really successful day today. So to get us started, you'll see our steps 1, 2, and 3 for today. Step 1, you are going to answer a poll that I have put into the chat. So if you go to our chat for today, you'll see this poll question. Please do this before you complete Module 5. If you've completed Module 5 already, then you probably know I am having you do this before. But the question for today is, do you think that Mrs. Allen is the thief? We have some votes that have already come in. Make sure you answer that and before you move on to the module for today. All right, step 2, you're going to watch the intro video for today. If you're watching this, then you're already there. And then step 3, you're going to work on 4.15 module 5. A few reminders, make sure that you submit to the Mastery Check on Edgelastic. There is one there for today. And then make sure that you fill out your IR document as well. Just as a reminder, you should have an IR document that looks like this on Google Classroom. Independent Reading Week 2. You are hopefully today filling out the second one for today. So with each module, you are expected to read for 30 minutes outside of class and then to write a summary for that reading section. All right. Also, another reminder, make sure that you're staying on Teams, even if you leave this call at the end. Yesterday, I was able to do some one-on-one check-ins with students and answer questions throughout the literacy block, and it's just a really great way to make sure you're staying on track. All right, so some feedback based on yesterday. I think the main confusion that I saw yesterday is that there was some confusion around this idea of unsaid language. So just to define this for us, the unsaid language refers to the thoughts and feelings behind what someone says or does. So unsaid language is something we can find both in things that people are saying and things that people are doing. So we have a few examples here that I just wanted to point out for people who kind of did a really great job of pulling out unsaid language and then also of explaining that. So the first one here comes from Izzy. So the example of unsaid language is something that Mrs. Allen says, "I tire very easily and I must be in bed early." Interesting. So in explaining the unsaid language, this is what Izzy said. "This is a clear example of unsaid language because Mrs. Allen just said she has to go to bed early, but she means she doesn't want to talk about this anymore and wants Emily to leave." I think this is really spot on. I think this is honestly something that I can relate to when maybe you're hanging out with someone and you just really want the time to be over and you really want that person to leave, but you don't really want to say that directly, so you say something else. I think we're doing this all the time where we're saying one thing, but what we really mean or what the unsaid language is something different. So that's what you're looking for, and that's what we can see in this example. Second example comes to us from Maddie H. So the unsaid example is, "You see, it means someone has a key to my door." One thing I'm noticing here is let's make sure in both of these it doesn't actually say in the quote who says it. That'd be helpful. Though it does say that in the explanation. So Maddie's explanation is, "This is a clear example of unsaid language because Emily does not say she suspects Mrs. Allen stole her things." Right? So throughout the whole scene, we keep saying, Emily keeps saying things like, "Well, someone has a key to my door and someone came into my room." And it's like this weird thing where we kind of know that she thinks it's Mrs. Allen, but she's not saying that. So the unspoken language, the unsaid language is that she suspects Mrs. Allen. Okay, so this is just something I wanted to review because there was some confusion about well, can it be unsaid? Can there be unsaid language within something that someone actually does say? And I think that's, yes, there can be that. You can also look for unsaid language in actions that people take, or like just things that people do, because we obviously say things with our actions as well. Okay, I'm here if you have questions about that, but that's the feedback from yesterday. Okay, so our agenda for today, objectives, vocab, do now. You are going to finish this story, which is very exciting. You're going to answer the last bit of guided questions. There's going to be direct instruction and notes. Make sure you watch that video. It's about shared identity, and it's going to really help you understand those some key vocab before you move into the discussion. There's a shared identity discussion document that you're going to work through. That is a separate document that you'll open, and then you'll have your mastery check, which is over on Edulastic. So our 2 objectives for today: students will be able to analyze how shared identity impacts Emily's decision about confronting Mrs. Allen in trial by combat. And students will be able to demonstrate the ability to identify key facts in a reading by writing answers to guided reading questions with the supportive sentence stems. So today's all about shared identity. Like what does it do when people have something in common? How does that impact their relationship and impact the confrontation that they might or might not have? And I'm really excited for y'all to finish this story. So last thing I'm just going to point out, in this shared identity discussion document, make sure you are following all directions. And down here, I put some kind of sentence starters for you as you continue to practice habits of discussion when giving feedback. I'm seeing a lot of like, I agree and I disagree, and I think we can kind of push ourselves to use other types of sentences. So like, I celebrate you because, I wonder if you've thought about this, I want to challenge you on the point. I think your response is strong because, just kind of think about different ways that we can say that so we can keep growing. And this class, Homeroom Run, has already done a great job so far of labeling both the initial response and the feedback. So keep that up. That's how you get credit. All right. So just want to back us up again to our steps for today. You're answering the poll, you're watching the intro video, and then you're working on the module for today, module 5. Good luck. Teams me, call me, chat me if you have any questions or concerns as you work through this. Good luck. Bye.